Greetings, friends. Welcome to the meditation for the common good. We meet at the time of distribution of the Aries festival. We follow the rhythm of three themes related to each of the crosses in the sky. Themes that are named by Tibetan master as the prerequisites for the reappearance of the Christ, establishing the measure of peace, implementing the principle of sharing, and cleaning the house of religion and politics. We're now starting the new monthly cycle of Aries-Taurus. The main focus of our work is formation and magnetization of thought forms during the time of the new moon. And therefore, our main focus of the work is the time at the new moon, time when we magnetize and radiate thought forms into the mental stream of humanity. And therefore, the theme that we relate our work to in this cycle is manifesting the principle of sharing in all fields of human endeavors. Themes that is related to the fixed cross in heaven. The topic that was selected for this cycle is sharing the gift of light, standing together in silent receptivity. Today, we will use the opportunity of the high tide of energies that comes every solar festival, every full moon, to lift our group chalice in inquiry to the hierarchy. Invoking the vision of the unfolding divine plan and asking for the guidance from our spiritual elders. As always, we start our work with sounding the statement of purpose.
Our purpose is to magnetize the ideas of common good, freedom, and brotherhood as the highest values of humanity at this time. We recognize and cherish diversity of perspectives in our group, creating a space capable of invoking, receiving, interpreting, and radiating a higher synthetic vision. We serve as an Asramic outpost, building a group bridge of Buddhic energy. We evoke the soul of humanity. We envision humanity as being the seed that is flowering. We prepare the way for the reappearance of the coming one. And over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Birgit. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. in this new moon, or full moon, sorry, full moon meditation. We usually begin this by reviewing the seed thoughts that came to us during our first quarter moon meeting that happened about 10 days ago. And we had, there were 8 of us or 9 of us, but we have 8 seed thoughts, from which our topic today, sharing the gift of light, standing together in silent receptivity, was created from. So I'm going to begin and read the seed thoughts so we can contemplate them once more. Number 1, future which lies ahead is full of promise. And number 2, as disciples, we are asked to share the divine circulatory flow. Number 3, let us be the light of compassion. Number 4, look up. There is light waiting to be shared by groups. Number 5, standing together in receptive silence to allow the angel of the presence to enter. Number 6, diversity of thought. Number 7, bring new eyes into the matter. Project the shared through the group energy structure. Let go of the past and open up. And finally, number 8, sharing in our group mitigates our own limitations. Awareness of cycles is a technique of our work as we move forward. And now we will move on to our meditation so that we can continue our focus on the cycle of Taurus, fixed cross, and sharing. Over to you, Alexander.
Thank you, Tracy. Let us prepare for the meditation. Align with the soul. Recognize the presence of the group. Seeing all of us as points of light, the soul light that links us together with light, love, and focused intention. We visualize the group heart center, the group chalice, formed by strands of light projected from our individual hearts. From the group heart, visualize the unfolding rainbow bridge, the group Antakarana, relating our group heart to the great ashram of the Christ. We tune in with the energies of Aries, and orient ourselves to the incoming energies of Taurus. Recognizing and invoking the qualities of both signs. We meditate on our topic, sharing the gift of light, standing together in silent receptivity. Sharing the gift of light, standing together in silent receptivity. Let us reflect on the following questions. 1. As the year of the Forerunner comes to the end, what is the next step for the new group of world servers? What are the most important functions of this global group at this time? As the year of the Forerunner comes to the end, what is the next step for the new group of world servers? What are the most important functions of this global group at this time? Two, how can disciples of the world use the opportunity of the shambolic impulse in service to humanity? How can disciples of the world use the opportunity of the shambolic impulse in service to humanity? In Discipleship in New Age, Volume 1, page 720, DK says, the disciples in the world and not the mass of men who today hinder the coming of the Avatar and render useless his intention. He dare not come until the disciples and aspirants in the world bring about the needed changes in themselves, for the reason that there would not be enough of the will to love with the fiery essence. What are the needed changes that we should bring forth in ourselves in order to allow the plan to manifest? The disciples in the world, and not the mass of men who today hinder the coming of the Avatar and render useless his intention. He dare not come until the disciples and aspirants in the world bring about the needed changes in themselves, for the reason that there would not be enough of the will to love with the fiery essence. What are the needed changes that we should bring forth in ourselves in order to allow the plan to manifest? We hold the group chalice receptive. Invoking the guidance of the elders. We focus on the group mental plane, allowing the impressions to precipitate into mental substance, forming adequate verbal expression, thought expression to be shared in our group circle. Holding the tension of group receptivity, we can start the sharing now, recognizing our sharing as a continuous meditative reflection. When you're ready to share, please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. My answers to the questions came rather quickly, really, so it's probably not a good sign. But they are as follows. It's now the time that the new group of world servers must actually begin to create the future on Earth. And number two, what was that? How can disciples of the word use it? It's the impulse can be used to enable creativity by the will working through the ajna center of each disciple and through the group, the ajna center of the group. And they should always have the will to persist. And number three, again, we must become creators through the group ajna center, carefully discern what we should not and or should create, be flexible to change if the world situation demands it. That's it, thanks. It's interesting. I think our group is becoming telepathic, or however you want to call it, because basically what Jill said was what came to me. Maybe in a few different words, but basically the same thing. For the first question, that era of forerunning was just trying to get the group together, trying to be in sync together, trying to figure out how to connect with each other and connect with hierarchy. And now that we've done step one, so to speak, um, what came to me for the answer, what is our function now, um, is that we are the light bearers right now. I mean, we're the ones that are holding steadfast the light and helping it to shine through and to assist it, um, to take a solid foothold on illuminating mankind and humanity and the planet right now. So that's what I got for that, which was very similar to what Jill had. Second one, how can disciples use the opportunity of the shambolic impulse to serve? And that came as, again, similar to what Jill said, discernment, helping to transmute the old and decrepit forms, transforming into new and creating the new and maintaining the new impulse that's coming in from Shambhala for humanity. And the third one, yeah, it's really hard, we're, as disciples, we're aware of what's happening. And then we're living in both worlds, put very simply. And it's really hard sometimes to live in this world, this physical world of dense materialism, um, because it's hard to see the light come through sometimes. When we meditate together, we can feel it, we know it, but then we open our eyes and we're here in this world. And I think one of the things that's really important is that I've found for me is having hope. I think the word hope is big because I think evil forces try to take the hope away. And that's what hinders allowing the light to come in, allowing the avatar to come in. And unless, of course, we cry out to the avatar, like, we've had enough, help us kind of thing. But disciples, I think it has to do with just having to live in both worlds. It's really hard going from the heaven worlds and that Buddhic feeling and having to come down into this dense. So I think just knowing that it's already manifested, that the light is there, that it's already here. We just have to let it happen. Um, Give love, become hope, and be grateful. Thank you.
I think what's really important for us is to keep the vibration as high as possible as souls, because the first ray from Shambhala is going to impact everything, and most importantly, the personalities in the individual and in the nations, as we see now. And as long as it is only the personality which is going to be impacted from the first ray, then the avatar is not coming as it is set there in Dina 1. So we need to have the will to love, to absorb this will energy from up high, and make the impact on the personality not as heavy as it would be. So to be this relay station that is somehow transforming the high energy to a more understandable energy for the personality, so that it is not turning into dictators and what we see in the world now, wars and chaos. But that we as souls can bounce a little back of the energy and absorb it. Thank you.
So as I look at all of these questions, they are the next steps before all of us. And when I think of the Forerunner stage, I think of that as a time of having gained the necessary skill. The idea of how to connect with soul, how to stand as soul, how to be part of a group and understand what that really means in terms of the truest sense of group, where one's own personality is not at the fore, but that group is the focal point. Utilizing techniques like transmutation work, where we're bringing through light. But at this point, everything really needs to be done at the level of a group. The idea of unity is no longer an idea, it has to become a reality and a fact. And so when I look at what is the next step for the new group of world servers, it's really to understand our place within the unity of group and to work for the whole, for hierarchy, for humanity, not for the self. And so when I look at how do we do that, I think skill and action really is where we need to go at this point in time. Looking at meaning behind what we see in the world. So understanding things from the level of meaning, and even looking at it at a higher level. Can we understand it from the idea of purpose? Can we not have judgment, but stand at that highest level together as a group? Can we be visionary? Those are some of the things. So if we're projecting light, where are we projecting it? And what is it that we're hoping to bring forth? Do we know how collectively to bring more light to the various planes? So those are some of the things that I think about. When I think about the Shambhala impulse, we cannot do that as individuals. We need to do it as a group soul. because of that highest level of will, to be able to stand there and even to be able to hold it and direct it. There can't be any individual within the group that you're standing. So it's not even a point of purifying yourself as a group, as a soul, but purifying yourself as a one group, as a world-serving group, so that we can stand almost at the level of triadal consciousness, and hold that synthesis together, so that will, love, and intelligence are what we're bringing through to be able to use that and direct that. The last piece that I looked at is basically always working from that highest point at all times, to really look at oneself when you're doing something in a group and you're looking to make sure that you're not looking for recognition, but rather you're doing it for the purity of the work. So it is being almost a reflection of hierarchy at this point. Earlier today, I was reading Rule 12, which is the rule for the new group of world servers, and how to stand in that energy and to reflect how hierarchy works together in unison with no thought for the self. So it is really, demanding that if we are going to stand there as conscious world servers, that we understand, in some ways, I hate to say the expectation because that's not the right word, but understand the selflessness, so that we're there to serve. So it's moving from being just souls in the world to being a group soul that really is feeling the unity that we want for humanity to begin to feel, so that in fact humanity can be elevated and work at its highest point of view. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Judy. It's very, I would say, the word important does not describe. I think it's essential to keep that group consciousness and group alignment in mind and in heart, and just act as one. But it's a serious challenge. I was thinking about the era of Forerunner. It is the moment when disciples, or there's no disciples yet, though we know that the teacher is coming, and there are certain things that we need to learn. But then when he's there, the learning becomes different. And you learn as a group. And you learn as a group. And the shambolic impulse does go only through the group formation. Individually, we are not very much aligned with it. Like it's that level of energy that our small transformers, they can't receive. They'll burn. Yet, as a group, we can. And to me, they to use the opportunity is to hold that highest position and anchor ourselves in that level, even that this other world stimulates us not to stimulates us to get distracted and get angry, get get to pretend that if we say things, it means they are true. But the whole idea is, as I see it, is to not just to say, but to visualize it in our daily living as a group. Not to want anything for our separate self. And the level that we need is as the lowest I begin as the belief is the Buddhi, the Buddhic subplane of all the planes. And especially when it comes to astral plane. Because the shift in humanity to mental polarization is happening. Yet our feelings and emotions are not really in check to the level that is required for the group work. And the will to love is also the ability to admit, I believe, that is very much needed, to acknowledge things the way they are. And that's when the will to love comes and can be used as a daily support, because you don't address things as they should be, knowing that, yet accepting how things are and seeing the path of the change, needed change in themselves. Yeah. So I do believe that it becomes essential at the moment to see how we can change ourselves and therefore change the etheric structure, energy structure of the group. And loving one another it's not living like one another. I don't know. There should be group love. Without it, there is no group. And therefore, acceptance, acknowledgement, and strategy, how to do things so they'll change. Thank you. Over.
I'm holding that phrase, the will to love with fiery essence. And it's like the fire of commitment that needs, it's the commitment to love. So the will to love, but at that level that is what is foremost. And, who can say that they're there? And yet being part of a group in some ways, the highest within the group can lift others up too. So, I think kind of knowing where you stand and then just always working to be your best self. And when you're not, recognizing that, course correcting, and, always having that fiery essence as the thrust. It's that will, moving from beyond just that astral plane to really mental and Buddhic love. It's fiery essence. Yeah, it's kind of what Aries brought us for this full moon, fiery essence.
Yes, and since we are in the Aries of 2025, and there is a quarter century cycles upon us and a century cycle upon us, we can meditate this precipitation of that energy, clearing the path, actually. So that energy clears the path for our discipleship and supports us in this change and in this relation with this fiery essence. Thank you.
Yeah, what came to me when you both said that was the will to love is to love both the good and the bad. For all of it is love. And when you love all of it, and you will to love all of that, both the good and the bad, it all dissolves into one love and becomes one. So I think the will to love and the fiery essence of it is the burning in the fires that burn within to dissolve all of the good, the bad, the duality into just one. So I think we do need to, at least I know I do, need to learn to love both the good and the bad because they're both God. I mean, it's all one. It's all just a part of one. So that will to love to me is to will to love both the good and the bad, to allow it to meld together and become one love. Thank
Just to make a comment on that, it's not that you love the bad, but you see the energy behind it, or the lack of clarity. You see where it's coming from, and so it doesn't pull out any hatred. It just pulls out compassion, because you look at humanity, if you will, with some of its real difficulties, and some that are hurtful to other human beings, and you don't love the hurt, but you don't hate you don't hate because you have compassion for where it's coming from. You don't accept it because I think Master DK is real clear on that. You don't accept it, but you don't hate it. You give compassion back to what you see for you, and then you try to bring forth the highest good. So that's that tricky line that you have to stand in, never to have that hatred in your heart, because it's just it's seeing things from an energetic point of view of where things are playing out and how to elevate the best in the circumstances that you see before you. It's really being able to stand with a complete point of view and just to love.
It is also a question of seeing that the good and bad can have the same ideal, the ideal of being the best you can be, and being a thief or being someone who is giving money to charity can have the same ideal. To be the best you can do with the ability you have. So it is, as you said, Judy, also it's a question, how clear is the ideal, because the ideal is always there, but it can't be clouded, and for most of us it is. Yeah, thank you.
And I think too, living in this duality, without the bad things, we wouldn't know good. Like everything would be the same kind of thing. And it does teach us the difference in that duality, and making the choice for the good kind of thing. So I think love is showing us both good and bad. And that's where we have free will to choose. So, yeah, thank you.
Tracy, you almost word by word repeated what I read yesterday at the Treatise on White Magic, the Rule 7, the section on 2 ways. And DK says that, yes, by recognizing, by knowing good in yourself, like inwardly, you start recognizing what is bad. And that's how you learn to do, and then you make a choice. And that's, I think it's where many big part of humanity is standing now, knowing good inside, recognize what is bad. Thank you, friends. The time is now coming to the close of our sharing today, but let us continue holding these questions in our group field, using the high potency of this time, of this period. We will continue our sharing at the coming quarter moon meeting, and as always at the new moon meeting. And I've shared the link to the community impressions boards as we started the new year with the Aries. It's going to be the new document, so it's empty at the moment. But I've put there, already added there a quote that's referred here in the question number 3. It's a long quote, but it's very, I felt very timely, especially for this Aries full moon. There, for the first time, I read the phrase, the will to fire. I've never heard this before, and I think it's very timely for now. Invoking fire. In the same place, the same quote, DK talks that fire can be fought only with fire. And considering the fires that raging now in the world, that fire that we can invoke in ourselves, and fire in the group, that's what is needed. And I think that's what also you, Tracy, was saying at the beginning about not losing hope and having that knowledge within, having that fire within. That is what is necessary now. Katya, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Since we are in the full moon period, I would say that it is important for us to hold that energy, to project it forward, to support the initiatory process, because that is the goal, right? And this initiatory process has this fiery quality. So dealing with that energy and connecting with it going forward, will support the group in many ways. So suggest we keep it in our meditation and group request.
So we will meet for our quarter moon meeting on April 21st. If I'm not mistaken, Tracy or Brigitte, correct me if I'm confusing something, but I think we were talking about April 21st.
Yeah, I think so.
So in these fiery times, standing together, it's a privilege and joy. And let us close our work today with a mantra. And as always, I invite if anyone wants to sound a mantra of your choice to close our work.
I guess I can close us out. Radiance are we, and power. We stand forever with our hands stretched out, linking the heavens and the earth, the inner world of meaning and the subtle world of glamour. We reach into the light and bring it down to meet the need. We reach into the silent place and bring from thence the gift of understanding. And thus, with the light we work and turn the darkness into day. Oh.